Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Sunday gathering or our Sunday satsang, where we come to learn and discover more and more and more about ourselves and more about life and God and all of that. All of that there. All that there.
All the way.
Yeah, all the way. All the way.
That song said, "Let Jesus lead me all the way."
Oh, there you go already.
From earth to heaven.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow.
Lead us all the way.
All the way. Let's see who's here to go with you. I heard somebody say, if you find yourself leading people and nobody's following, you're just taking a walk. Some of us just taking a walk because nobody's following. Anyway, good morning, Sissy. Good morning, brother-in-law. I'm not sure. I think Sissy's up here. And
Mr. Kessler, good afternoon. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Why do you start? Why do you just jump everywhere?
I'm just doing what you do.
Which way?
Hey, y'all. How you doing? Good to see you.
Kathy, sweetie, my birthday is next week, but thank you in advance. Thank you. Oh, yes. Are you coming to be with us? Is that what you're saying? She said, we'll be able to come to Greensboro, but have a wonderful day. Wow. Will be able or not be able? Let me know. Not be able. Thank you, sweetheart. I wish you could. I would love to hug your neck.
Sure would.
Hey, Dee Dee and George.
George.
Brooke Kessler, he's already spoken to you, but I'm going to speak to you again. Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
And Sandra, how are you, sweetheart? John Greason's in the house.
J Motorcycle.
And Brother Greason. Blues in the house and the family.
The family.
Yeah, and that's Vern.
That's Liberty Vern.
Vern. And all of you other lively stones who are out there who have not typed anything in the comment section, I am welcoming you. Thank you for taking the time to come and spend this hour with us. Hour and give or take a little song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You smell mighty good today.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did wash a little bit.
Brand new.
Yeah.
You know, that could get you in trouble.
And he's kind of cute too today, I guess.
Oh, look at you.
I can throw that
you want me to go back my bill photos in the other room. We want something like that. See,
I need to say more.
I
need to say more.
No. You're gonna break me if you keep on saying that. Brother, I can't take no more of that kind of talk. It's too rich for my blood. Early in the morning, when my love comes down.
I see.
Hot dog.
Wow.
Ooh.
Anyway, for those of you who may not know, my birthday's next week. It is next week, isn't it?
I'm going to lean on you.
And I'll be 76 years young. And we're going to celebrate it at Ben's Boys. I hope you can be there. I know
She'll be 1,000 years old.
I'm ageless. I am ageless. I had to think for a minute. I am ageless. We'll be at Ben's Boys, and if you can come, it'll be wonderful. I'd love to see you. We can have food together, and we can just talk and laugh like we always do. Oh, it'll be so great. So I hope you can come, and that is on 2711 Grandview Avenue. I've never been there, but I've heard good things about that restaurant and the atmosphere. So I hope you can come. Oh,
we can find it.
And I think Anita has already gotten a head count. So for those of you who've been slow about sending an email to me or getting back to her, then you may get in that room with us. I think you might get in that room with us.
Ms.
Anyway,
Rhonda,
come on over there and stay if you can.
Bring one mic with you if you can, Ms. Rondo.
No, don't say that. We may not have room for him.
Well, I mean,
she could come. There's always room in the restaurant. Yeah. So you can always go to this table and talk to him, right?
I sure can.
Or you can come to yours. That's right.
Unlimited thinking.
So we don't have to sit just right perpendicular.
You want to come and hatch a square duck? You want to come and hatch a square duck egg? That'd be all right.
We don't have to sit adjacent or perpendicular.
And we'll get you some duck, make you a duck butter sandwich.
So anyway, I hope you can come. I really do hope you can come. I'd love to see you, be there with you. We haven't had a gathering we had a small gathering not long ago. Sister Anita did over at Cracker Barrel, and with all of the ladies, older ladies, and even Brooke Kessler, and I mean we had a pretty good crowd, and it was so much fun having breakfast with them. And so I'm looking forward to it. It'll be from 1 to 3 now, so that's lunch, not breakfast. That's lunch. And I hope you can get there early enough so we can have time to fellowship. All right. Love you. We'll talk about that a little later. So in the meantime, let's do affirmations. You want to?
Yep, chef.
You want to? Okay. We're going to do our I am affirmations today. And I want you to say this with me because it's important that you hear your own voice say this. Your mind may kick it out when you say certain things about yourself. Your mind is going to kick it out because your mind doesn't believe that about you. But you are going to speak beyond your mind from that you truly are, from that place of knowing, where you don't have to have evidence. You're speaking directly from your knowing and directly from your unconditioned being, not the part of you that has gone through all of the ups and downs of life and hell and all. It's not that self, but the self that is beyond all of that, and the self that has never been touched by any of that. There's a you that has never been touched. And that's the you I want you to speak from when we do these, okay? So let's do that now. We're going to affirm our I am, what I am. And you remember the scripture that says, be still and know that I am God. So when we say I am, we're actually speaking the name of God, which is what I am. Okay? I am complete. I am blessed. I am spirit. I am infinite. I am eternal. I am unborn. I was never born. I am nameless. I was given a name. I am ageless. I have always been here. I am unbound. There is nothing that can bind me. I am authentic. I am the author of this life. I am unaffected. Things are happening all around me, but they cannot touch me. I am unaffected. I am undisturbed. Disturbance may be felt, but it is not what I am. I am unafraid. I'm learning to take what is presented to me in life, search it out for the lessons within it, and then discard it. I am unafraid. I am clear. I can see who I am. I can see what I am. I cannot always say what I am, but it is clear. I am intuitive. There is a wisdom that arises from within me. There are answers that arise from within me. Everything that I need to have and know is downloaded already inside my being. I am intuitive. I am free. There are no chains, no strings, no attachments. I am free. I am timeless. And I am unconditioned. I am peace. Although disturbance may be felt, it is not what I am. I am peace. Sometimes that peace goes beyond my understanding. In the midst of a storm, I find myself not being disturbed. I am peace. I am forgiveness. I am beyond offense. I am forgiving. I am non-judgmental. I hold no opinions of myself. I hold no opinions of anyone else in my relationships. I hold no opinions. I have no opinions. I see others as I see myself. I see the I am in others as I am. I am all inclusive. Everything begins and ends with me. I am indestructible. There is nothing that can wipe me out. The me that I am. Not the body, me. Not the mind, me. Not the feeling, me. But the I am, me. I am undefinable. There are no ways to describe what I am. There are no ways to draw a picture of what I am. There are no concepts of what I am. I just am. I am essential. I am the most important ingredient in this life. Everything has to come from me. I am essential. I am unaddicted. My body may be addicted. My feelings may be addicted. And when I say the feelings and the mind and the psyche that came along with this physical unit. But I am unaddicted. I am stable. I am formless. I am stillness. I am joy. I am abundance. My bank account does not tell me whether or not I am abundance. My bank account does not reflect whether I am abundance. Only my willingness to give reflects my abundance. I give from an endless, unending source. Therefore, I am abundance. I am everywhere present. I am the knower. It is by the knowing that I say all these things about myself. The self that I am is the I am self. I am unattached. I am sacred. I am unlimited. I am love, unconditional love. I expect no reciprocation. I constantly exude love and affection toward others. I am that. I am truth. I am life itself. I am all potential. I am the I am. And so it is. And so it is. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Sister Sharon. Good morning, Sister Chris.
Yeah.
And good morning to Phyllis and Edward.
Torrance.
Good to have you guys with us this morning. Hope everything's going well with you. You got something on your plate this morning that you can give us?
Yeah. I was in a little bit of meditation, and I slipped into that place. After a while, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But when you were saying those I am quotations, you were doing and showing them what to do. That is called the eternal dance of God. That means that God that walks is an expression of a happy feet, happy mind, full feeling its desire of the expression of eternal life.
Okay.
Then I began to investigate into everybody that's in this universe. If you go to the essence inside of you, which what she gave you in quotation of the I am self, that is one of the ways you speak from your eternal self. Kindness, love, joy, eternal forgiveness, eternal love. To express that is to say you are now hooked up to the eternal Christ. Now, you're not supposed to go around and tell everybody. It's sound like I'm saying under law. You don't go around messing with everybody until you learn or somehow or another find out that you can approach any man you see, male or female, if you talk kindness, like a good morning, hello. And then as you get in, if they want to continue on talking, then you can say to them, like I say, you know, I had an experience. Now, if you didn't have the experience, you can't say this. I have the experience of seeing Jesus in person, and he showed me how to see him in your eyes. Now, you got to arrange that some kind of way where you won't sound like churchology, where you won't sound like
won't be religious.
The ego and religious.
It won't be religious.
When we started out in this thing, I didn't know the full definition of what it means to give your life to Christ. And I thought
because we only knew the religious mean or concept of that. Yes.
What little bit we were conditioned for in the box, in the house and all that stuff. But then as years went by, I discovered that the reason why I saw Jesus, it had nothing, not anything to do with the church. I thought my mind thought it meant that I was supposed to go to church and be around these people. And I did for years. Yeah. And honey, you talking about the chaos I run into when you go to talking this stuff that we're talking now.
There are a lot of people who came through the Christian path, I should say, using church and all of that. And churches are so different, no matter, you have a church on every corner, they're all different. But there are people who have been through the Christian path who have been damaged.
Yeah.
And been really wounded and hurt by a lot of the things that Christians have done. It's not Christ that's done it, but it is the Christians, the people that have followed and who have identified themselves as Christians, who have not walked in the Christ character. And so it's caused a lot of people to turn against it. A lot of people are really have an adverse reaction against anything Christian or religion at all, which is no problem now for us, because we understand that a person is not necessarily lost just because they're not Christian. There are many who are awake.
Yeah,
that have not gone down the Christian path. Right.
According to the organization, I did not come under sway to the organization because I was not going to church. And when I went to come to see you, I come after 1 o'clock, which was something that was conditioned.
In the South, you didn't go out after.
That was a time on a Sunday when you didn't see no buses, trucks, or anything running on Sunday.
True. Can I read something that you gave us. This is when we were in the large building. We had our 500 and 600 people in our congregation. You said this one Sunday, and I wrote it down. And you had us to repeat it, and it's so it was so impactful when you did it that I've never let it go, because it was an affirmation meditation that, like what we do on Sundays, but it was from the spur of the moment. It was not rehearsed. It was not remembered from someone saying it. It came directly from you while you were preaching and teaching. So I wanted to say this, and I wrote it. I called it In the Temple. In the temple. And this is what you said. It was a prophetic declaration. You said, you are the temple of God. In your temple, this is what you said to us. Stand in your holy place and preach your own eulogy. Oh. Yeah. And then you said, this is my hiding place. Right. Baptize yourself. Go down into the grave of the false identity, and rise up into the consciousness of your pure self. Oh, wow. My gracious day. I'm going to say that again. Baptize yourself. Go down into the grave of the false identity and rise up into the consciousness of your pure self. You are the holy place. When you look in the mirror, you see him, or you see no one but him. And you see his face and his space. You are the judge and the verdict. You are the sentencer. Nothing can be done to you without consent of the universe. Wow. Isn't that something? Isn't that wow? That's good. That is just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. Well, we got a chance to have an unusual visitor with us this morning. Yeah, but maybe we should mention that. But that's okay. We've been wondering when we're going to get a chance to talk to him, and we got it this morning. Yeah. Thank you, Leslie, and all your family and your friends that are there with you listening. But one of the things that I wanted to say to you, when you give your life to Christ, it's not what we were taught. If you give your life to Christ. How can you give yourself to somebody that in your essence you are? You are the eternal nowness, I amness. I call it R-ness. And it's important that we say this again, because a lot of times when people hear the word Christ, they think of it as a name. Yes. And it is not a name. It is the principle of the love of God. It is the essence of the nature of God. Right. And so we are all that. All of us are that. And so not one of us can declare that I alone am God, because we are all together corporately God. I remember when we were starting out, I heard the Spirit speak to me and said, I'm letting you experience, you're going to understand that there are men and women in motel rooms right now. He says what he said then to me, that are going to die, and that some of them are married and some are not. But there's a lot of things going on in that room behind closed doors. And he said they're going to depart from this world. I said, what you mean? He said, he finally explained, it took a while. He explained it to me. He said, all of a sudden, their true self, essence, that has been lying dormant inside of their temple, is going to come to the forefront of their consciousness in oneness. And that is going to cause many of them to lose the old conditioned self, and the act of what they're doing in the room. Some are married and some are not. That she is going to see that it is not profitable for you to be in that situation due to the uncommitment of, marriage and all that. But I'm not judging anybody with this. I'm just telling what he told me.
And one thing I want to emphasize to all of you, that is no way possible for you to tell your true essence of the Christ eternal self to leave you alone. It's no way you're going to get that done. So you might as well go ahead on and settle for I am the I am self, and let that be a part of your pathless path, because when you see the truth of who you are as that part of you that never die, you're the no dying self. You were not born. The born again experience that we talk about in church haven't been fully engaged into the fullness of seeing who we are as the I am self.
Now we say those things. You and I can say those things very easily.
Yeah.
Because there's no resistance now in us regarding that truth. However, a lot of people are saying, well, how do you arrive at that? How can you say that? When you think of yourself, and we've done this exercise before, I'm not going to go through all of the exercise today, but if you strip away from yourself everything that's related to your body, everything related to your body, your name, your race, your family, the location that you grew up in, the culture, your size, your gender. If you strip away everything that's related to your body, the history of your past, strip all of that away because it's related to what your body went through. If you strip everything away from what your mind has accumulated, I've studied this and I've studied that, and I know this and I know that. You strip away all of the things that have been added to you as a physical being. If you take all of that away, what's left? What's left is what exits the body when the body dies.
That's right.
And that exits the body is you. And that exited the body is the same that came into the body as a fetus. And so therefore you are none of that. So that's how we come to that conclusion. You're none of that.
That's right.
You're beyond the body. You're beyond the psyche. You're beyond your feelings, your thoughts, your desires, your aspirations. You're beyond what your body is feeling, what your body looks like. You're beyond what your mind has accumulated as information and knowledge. You're way beyond that. You existed before all of that, and you will exist when all of that is gone away.
I remember in the book it said Paul made the statement about his position as an apostle. Have I not seen the Lord? Now, I was hung up on titles and had much judgment with those who didn't respect it. I run across a lot of preachers. If you call them or say something to them like running by their first name address.
We've had our ego stripping.
It's
still being done.
The ego is that part of your mind that's constantly saying, I don't believe in this Christ, man. I don't believe in Jesus. He's just a regular man like everybody else. That's fine. God doesn't have any problem with it. Your inner Christ self doesn't have any problem with it. That's what I finally learned. I know people will say this. I have no judgment against the presidents. I have no judgment against homosexuality, lesbianism, and none of that. They don't know.
That's their path.
That's their conditioned mind self.
And I have come to the conclusion, and you guys have heard me say this before, that we're all on a path, but we're not on the same path, but our paths converge at certain points. But we're all, every last one of us are walking this path alone. No one is walking this path with you. The best example I have of that is when you go to sleep at night, you can't take the person that's laying beside you into where you're going.
That's right.
You're on this path alone. You might have people that walk it for a little bit with you, but they're not. And this path has not been forged. Your path has not been forged. It is not seen by anyone but you. And so our understanding does not have to agree. That's what I want to say.
That's right.
We don't have to agree, but we do need to remain one. And the same. The agreement is not necessary.
There are some things about the eternal self and the eternal essence of the I am we are. He is our true identity.
Yeah.
That's one thing that you cannot destroy or dissipate with or leave alone is your Christ eternal self.
Exactly.
When I was in the council room and Jesus was there, all the chairs at the council table, it was an eternal hall of records of everything in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I noticed when I was there or entered into that room, whoever it was that was sitting in those council room chairs or seats, they had left out. And after I got there, I saw what Jesus said to them while he was sitting at the other end of the table in a absolutely beyond words, indescribable living wood. That chair was designed by divine essence that he sat in.
Mm.
I saw the chairs were empty, and I kept wondering, I can see through the top of the table down to where there was, whoever it was that was sitting in that chair around the table. And I said, in my inner self, I said, who are these people that in this council room? Before I got there, Jesus asked them to leave. And he wanted to have a personal, slight moment in our time of discussing with me of an event of legalities in relationship to R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company and me and my disability. And so when I looked down through the table, I said, in my thought, I said, I wonder who was it that was sitting in those chairs. And here's what the Spirit said to me. Jesus told me, he said, get your Bible and any book you want to and read the table of contents. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. I did. And when I did, I went down the line. And as I went down through the line, I called out. He said, call them out. So I went through that. That was Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, David, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Michael, Nahum, whatever how you pronounce that. Hucklebuck was Habakkuk. Hucklebuck was in there.
Was that a name?
Yeah.
I mean, someone's name.
Yeah, somebody named Hucklebuck. Yeah, there's a dance they used to do back when my uncle back in the 20s called the Hucklebuck, flat foot and toe hucklebucking, buck dancing they call it.
Well, all those names I call them big words.
Yeah, big words. But at any rate, I saw every religious sage in the universe there, and he explained to me that's right. In the physical mind, there is a religious and non-religious, but in the essence of your true self, no such thing.
Yeah. So what you're saying is the sages, and this is the circle of sages.
Yeah.
The sages in that world of spirit have no antagonism, no divisions between them, no disagreements between
none at
them,
all,
because they're all pointing to the same thing.
Yes.
So there's no kinds of adversity there.
So when he did that, I went and found all the names that I just read to you, and I looked again in the wall, and the curtains was huge, made out of the same material
you
that his robe was.
You have all these mystical experiences.
Yeah.
I just have to say that my husband has all these mystical experiences.
Yeah, and I saw him.
You don't know.
And I saw him, and the way I could recognize that was somebody was in the seats from different religions and all over the universe.
Yeah.
The energy that they left in their seat was the energy light from their light body self. And the chair that they sit in absorbed them because it was made out of everything that we are as the eternal self.
Now,
boy, that's something.
And that's good. Now, you may be saying, well, what does that got to do with my life and how I'm going to survive?
Okay.
It may not
That's easy.
It may not have anything directly to do with that. However, there is a freedom that will be experienced by the letting go of this false, illusory identity. Once that happens, there is a liberty that you will experience. And when I say liberty, I don't mean you're free to do whatever you want to do. I mean you're free to be without concern. You don't have to live with all the concerns of what should be done, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, what I could do, what I couldn't do.
I believe this and I
All
don't
of
believe
that, yeah,
that.
all of those things just fall away.
Yeah.
So it's a place of contentment. It's a place of no tension.
We call it the secret place.
Yeah, you do call it the secret place. It's a place of no tension. There's no contracted feeling inside,
That's
no
right.
constricted feeling inside.
That's right.
There's no grasping and groping and seeking and trying really hard, and all of that just kind of falls away. So that's the benefit of it. That's the benefit. And in the meantime, while that is experienced, you also experience the dismantling of a lot of your old beliefs that limited you. They begin to dissolve. Things that made you feel ashamed, the things that made you feel guilty, all of those things begin to dissolve because you no longer are held by those beliefs that of something's wrong with you, or that God is not accepting you, and all of those things. So yes, it's beneficial. It's very beneficial.
Now we're actually what we're doing in this Sunday morning conversation, we're showing you the difference between the walk of the Spirit and the walk in your mind or sophisticated reasoning or religiosity.
That's true. That's true.
I did not meet Jesus Christ the way I did at that time in church. I met him before I got there. And my wife had asked me the second time to go. First time I said no. Second time she didn't have to because I went to her house and I had seen him. And I knew that Christ the Lord was real.
Yes, yes. Well, and I have to say this. If there's some people who are not on that same path.
That's right.
Of going to.
And it's no problem.
Of accepting Jesus Christ.
That's right.
However, we all end up in the same place.
That's right.
So it was what was needed for you. It was what was needed for me. But I can say this, that Jesus did not lead us into more legalism. Jesus, when we truly follow him, he took us away from the legalism.
Yes.
Away from the judgment.
And the fighting.
And away from the labeling and all of that. We followed him into this knowing. We followed Jesus into this knowing. So this is what Jesus came for, to give us this knowing.
And then I remember.
And to show us that our own divinity.
Yeah. Yeah. And fear and the monkey mind is what caused you to argue about whether Jesus was a real man or was he just a man.
Well, it really isn't important.
You know? It's not important.
It really isn't important.
But we do know what is important.
What is?
That is that we investigate into what really take place or leave these bodies when the body quits, or what it say, eulogy, death to the body. What happens to your body when you leave it? Like Jesus left his, you going to leave your body one day, and then you'll get a chance to see what we're talking about. But we want you to see this before the body dies, so that the glory of God will expand itself into you and everybody that around you. So that experience, my wife had been in church for years, and I had too, but in country, it don't mean anything. And I never thought that I would meet this girl, and because of her essence, Jesus would appear to me many, many times. I mean, literally, where both of us saw him and see him at the same time.
Yes.
And I thought when I saw him, I shut my eyes and turned away because I said, this is just the mind thing. But I turned back and looked at him on the step. He was still standing there. And even when he opened his chest and let me see his heart, I know that it was burned into the memory of my Akashic eternal Melchizedek self.
Well, I have to say that your mystical experiences, and I've had some as
well.
Yeah,
you have.
But your mystical,
mine is yours.
Your mystical experiences, all of our mystical experiences have been there, given to us for reference points. So when we had the experience of seeing Jesus, what we saw was Jesus come down those stairs, which is mimicking what you did every night.
And that's crazy. When I saw him, I saw me come first. Yeah.
Right. Well, it mimicked what you did every night going downstairs.
And I'm standing, me standing looking at it.
And going in the prayer closet. It mimicked it. So what the message of that experience was.
Well, your chills all over when we talk about
the message was, I am you.
Yeah.
That was the
message.
That was the message.
Miracle after miracle.
The experience was not to be able to say, I saw Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's not that.
It wasn't.
It's not an ego thing.
It was to tell us, I am you. And when you do this, I'm doing this. There is no separation. So that the message is what you use as a reference point of all of those mystical.
That's right. I told God, the Spirit, Christ said, before we moved here, I said, look, I was in the bathroom by myself. I said, look, I'm getting ready to take a shower. And I don't know whether
you said that.
Yeah, I said that to him. I said, if you don't mind getting wet inside this suit, I would recommend that you stay out there and sit down on the top of the toilet with the toilet lid down and wait till I get through if you don't want to get wet. But in the meantime, I'm taking a shower. So when I got in there, I realized he was in the shower too because he didn't have any problem with getting wet.
You're so childlike sometimes. It's funny. That's funny.
So I'm just telling you, Abdul, I'm telling you, man, I'm so happy to see you. But I'm going to tell you, I met Jesus Christ and I've been seeing him 24/7 ever since, which does not give me the right to crash on any religion or any teaching. I just know who they are inside.
And it's important when we say we see Christ in others. We're not saying we see a person that is saved.
Yeah. Oh.
Or a person that is displaying Christian.
That's right. There you go.
Traits.
That's right.
Or speaking Christianese.
Yeah.
We're not saying
Christianese. That's pretty good. Christianese.
We're seeing somebody that looks holy.
Yeah.
We're not saying that. We're saying we look at that person and the essence of that person shining through their eyes is the same essence that God is. That same essence that's looking out my eyes is the essence that's looking back at me from their eyes. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I heard Wayne Dyer say this last night. He said, "Look, he said, well, how can I see God in everything that? How can I see God like you? Well, here it is.
Can you read your writing?
I'm working on it.
Sometimes I can read your shorthand, but I can't today.
Okay, here it is on the other side. I've got it on a piece of paper here.
On a paper towel.
Paper.
It's the eternal.
The eternal I am dance. Working.
Self is working in our everyday life.
That's what I want to say.
Yes, self is working.
The identity of the Christ self. The Christ self is working, moving in our everyday step. Every step, even right now, I'm talking to him inside of all of it. The church would say, or brick and mortar would say, he's not in you unless you receive him as Lord and Savior. Let me ask you this before you say something. Okay. Where did we all come from? That something mistranslated, born in sin and wrapped in iniquity from my mother's womb. That does not have anything to do with your eternal self in the sense of you knowing Christ, because the Christ self is where all of us came from. And in that Christ eternal spirit, we have never left heaven. So we are projecting ourselves here in this story or this monkey mind world. We decided to come here because in our ancient self, eternal self, we are more than anything in this earth that could happen to us, bad, tragic. We do not get soiled or touched by any of those things that take place in the dark world. Now, the clue to this thing is investigating into the eternal self. So I did. And I found out that we have always been with God and never left him. But what made it seem like we left him is that these bodies and mine is all wrapped up in this dream world called earth, and your address and your street, your car, your job.
Basically survival.
Survival.
Yes.
But who you really are is stillness of God in that eternal part. From head to toe, rooter to tutor, you are an eternal being and cannot be killed, wiped out, or destroyed.
Now, I know when we say these things, there are things on your mind, such as, I want my body to feel better. My body's sick or my body hurts. I want more money because I need money to pay for my bills and the things I'd like to do. I need. We have those things happening in these physical units that we are. What do we do with that? And I'm going to speak very transparently, which I try to always do. I have, for the last couple of weeks, I'll say 3 weeks, there was an episode that I had about 3 weeks ago in the middle of the night where I ended up, because of some things that took place, weeping hysterically to the point of just almost panic. I won't say what caused it, but I realized what caused it was simply an instrument to get me to where I am now. That incident, I cried, I screamed, I felt as if my whole being was coming up out of me. And I did that, I think it was maybe for 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And after that happened, it's like something left me. What left me, though, I won't say was a demon. It wasn't a thing. It was all of the years that I had tried so hard to make things go a certain way. That left me. And when it left me, ever since then, we haven't had an argument. We haven't. Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Disagreement, but
well, not really. Not like we were before.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't had moments of anxiety. When that happened to me, I realized I don't have to be concerned about everything. I don't have to be concerned about everything. I don't have to be concerned about how my hair looks. I don't have to be concerned about whether my makeup looks good. I don't have to be concerned about whether or not I put on the right outfit. I don't have to be concerned about whether or not it fit right.
You just don't want to go out streaking, but you
right. I mean, I'm just saying this is where I am emotionally and mentally. I am no longer concerned. I don't have to be. If my body doesn't feel good, I can accept that. I don't have to be concerned about it. I can go through it without being concerned.
That's right.
So it's been a real, and I'm going to use a religious term, deliverance for me. It has really been a deliverance for me. I have truly come into a place of freedom.
Yeah.
But it came as a result of something that triggered it's like all of that was bundled up in a ball and it came out of me. What came out of me was my constant effort to make things go a certain way or not go a certain way. It left me. And you mentioned a minute ago about people who might be in a hotel, whatever, doing whatever they're doing, what the Lord was saying to you about it. And then they have this moment of waking up and realize who they are while they're in there doing whatever they're doing. And that sudden holy moment can happen to any of us.
That's right.
It can, and
it's not limited. It's not limited to people going to church or not going to church. I tell people all the time, when I see Jesus in them looking out of their eyes, it does not get on my one little tiny pinpoint nerve that they might not be saved. They might be of a different religion. They might believe in Mohammed and all the different sages. I don't mess with that because that's not my business.
Well, I'm going to show you how, give an example of how this has freed me. And what freed me, what freed me was the incident that led up to me releasing all of that being released from me.
There's a lady.
Well, wait a minute before you.
You paused that.
I know I did. I know I did.
I thought you slid down the hill.
I'll give you an example of what I'm trying to say, and I hope this makes sense to you guys. But I'll give you an example. Our dog, Baby Girl. You guys know Baby Girl. Baby Girl has the issues of having bouts of diarrhea once in a while. Well, usually this is what usually happens when she has that. I have to stay up at night and just to be ready and alert in case she needs to go outside because she doesn't boo in the house. And so
don't like to do that.
She has to rush to get outside if she's got diarrhea. So this is a very tense time for me.
It is.
And a lot of times I resented it because it would always happen on a night when I needed to be fresh and alert on the next day.
Yeah.
And so, and I would be so worn out. But since this that I've been talking about has taken place in me, she got a bout of diarrhea a day ago and had a little bit yesterday. And I realized, I said, okay, I don't have to be concerned that she's got diarrhea. All right. This is what happened. I said, if I'm asleep and she happens to get up and have a mess in the floor, I can just get up and clean it up. Okay? I don't have to be concerned. I don't have to put myself through the torture of, I'm going to have to stay awake. What if she messes up in the house? What if I don't get up in time? Oh, she's going to mess the floor up. All of those concerns, I don't have to be concerned about.
That's right.
I can just do what I need to do at the time I need to do it. There's no need to premeditate.
That's right. That's right.
So
if it does, you know where it's coming from.
So that's the example I'll give you. That example. So I'm seeing it in every aspect of my life, and it's not because of something I'm so great or anything like that. It was just what caused it was an incident that was very negative to me. But it was the very thing I needed. So some of these things that you think you want to get rid of, some of these things that you don't want to happen are the very thing that will bring you into the freedom. But you must have that release and relinquishment when it takes place. Let it go. Let it go. If you have to scream, if you have to yell, if you have to cry, if you have to pass gas, whatever you have to do that and then relinquish all of the stuff that's inside of you so that you can experience that freedom. I know that's
okay.
That's being raw like you, but
like me. I am you.
Because you're like that all the time.
I'm like you.
Now, Brother Blue says people are being set free with this powerful message today. Well, thank you.
Let me tell y'all something that we do. Since we've had Baby Girl, we had to look for somebody. My dog. We had to look for somebody that could really groom her like we wanted, and we took her different places and all kind of thing happened. But we run across this lady who has a mobile grooming business.
Her name is Jamie.
And her name is Jamie. And we contacted her, and she did an excellent job of working with Baby Girl.
She's been working on Baby Girl for years.
Years, yeah. But we found out that she was getting married, and she was marrying. Am I permitted to say what I need to say about her?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're mentioning
She
something that she might not want mentioned.
Well, yeah, maybe so. But she married a mate. Okay, I say it like that.
A partner.
A partner. And this partner looks very much, they favor each other. They look like each other. They're like twins. I say it like that. But we found out that the love of Jesus Christ in the essence of our eternal heart does not love her more or less. There is no such thing as me loving her
because of her
because
life
she
choices.
do good, or not loving her because she made some choices in life.
Because of her life choices.
Yeah.
God doesn't turn on us because of our life choices.
That's right. That's right.
And
That's the truth.
We should not turn on one another because
the truth of God is the eternal heart of Christ inside every one of you out there. You may be a Methodist, Holiness, anti-Tarian, dysenterian, or whatever you want to call it. Big word, whatever you want to call it. You can be in there, you can stand on your head and bask gas straight up in there. That ain't going to change God's love that He is inside of you toward yourself.
And it's important when we say that it's not going to change God's love. It's not going to change our love.
No, because what He is, we are.
Yes. And so coming to the place of not having judgment when you're pastors, that's a big chunk. That's a big chunk.
Oh, let me
that's a big chunk.
When we had the brick and mortar, that big building, we had a community of homosexualities come in and rent space from us. Yeah. I thought it was going to be a big problem.
But that's when we started to let go of all of the judgmentalism and labeling of people because of their life choices.
They were good people.
Their life choices. I mean, you have the right to make your own life choices. They may not be the choice I think you ought to make.
Yeah.
Based on what I think you ought to do, but it's not important what I think you ought to do. What's important is it the choice that is going to be made to benefit you? And that I don't have any I don't have any say-so over that.
That's right.
I don't have a say-so over the direction you decide to go in.
That's
I don't have that say-so. That is the controlling of people who are in cults. We are not that. You have a mind of your own. You can do and say whatever you choose to say. I don't have a judgment to pass on you because of it. I wouldn't do some of the things that you do, but that is not my business.
That's right. That's right.
That is not my business.
And
the only thing that we have to, because we're ministers, we have to trust that the Holy Spirit is as much with you as it is with us.
That's right.
And it will show you.
It's the same Spirit.
It will show you. It will lead you. It will check you when you start to go in a direction that's not good for yourself. It will check you. We have to trust that.
That's right. So now here we go. We're talking something out of the range of unassisted natural comprehension that can only be discerned by divine revelation and insight, wisdom, at such a time your eternal self sees fit to reveal.
Yes.
Now, the moment you guys wake up to the truth of your inner self, you're going to be able to look at these people, whether they be crooks, murderers, or whatever, in your true self. You can say, I love them in the Christ self that they are, but they may not see it. And I don't think it's my job to walk up to them and sit there and battle with them and disagree about what Jesus was, who he was he a man, or was he a boy, or whatever. I don't have any problem with that. I ain't got time to fool with that, because there's too many good things in the Christ identity that can be dwelt upon to overrule all of the dark conversation and the energy that some people have accumulated, because there's another one, because they might be black or white or nationality. I asked Jesus when I saw him, and the reason why I asked him what I'm getting ready to tell you is because I wanted to know, was he a black man, a Jew, or African, or whatever. I wanted to know what color skin he was and where he came from. He looked at me, and when I looked at him, I could see that he was made out of everything that you are in love, unconditional self. He is the unconditional self-love in all of us.
Yes.
Hello, are you out there? I can
Yes.
see you.
Yes.
I know you're thinking, but I want you to understand that if you decide to go to Christ, you're going to go with him that is inside yourself. Read the 16th chapter of Luke of the rich man and Lazarus. Both of them died and left their bodies, but they were still existing.
Yes. I want to read a scripture before we move on, and I know our time is winding up.
Yeah.
It's in St. John 14. And the begin at the 15th verse. He says, if you love me,
Here you go.
keep my commandments. And the only commandment Jesus gave was to love one
That
another.
eternal love.
That's it. And seek ye
No variation.
and to seek the kingdom.
That's right.
Which is inside of you.
That's right.
Seek that first, and everything else will get. That was the only thing he told us to do. Then he says, if you love me, keep my commandment, and I will pray the Father that he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. That's the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Spirit of truth. That's what we speak in today, truth. The Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive because it doesn't see him, neither knows him, but you know him, for he dwells with you and shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world sees me no more. But you see me, because I live, you shall live also. At that day you shall know that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you.
Now, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate every one of you. I found out how to talk to the Christ and everybody. I can talk to him, and I'm doing it now with every one of you.
Yes,
thank you. John Greason said push the like button.
Yes.
And I appreciate that, Brother John. You own the ball there, man. You own the ball. And I thank you so much for tuning in to us today. We'll be back with you again on Tuesday night at 7 and live and in color.
Yep, you're very welcome, Sydney. I hope you come back to see us.
Please do. Please, Sydney. Please do. We love to have you with us. And if I could physically get together with all of you all over the world, I would do it. But
we are physically getting together for those of you who are local.
Well,
I got my birthday next Saturday.
She'll be 76. We are both 76 together right now.
This is what 76-year-old beauty looks like.
Yes, darling. I'm pine now my hot total boko. Hey, let me tell you something. I'm going on 77.
You're going on. He's always going on.
I'm always going on 77. But if I check my Akashic Eternal Life Hall of Record identity, I am older than dirt. I was with Moses and in Moses and all of the Israelites and the Egyptians at the same time when the Red Sea opened and let us all cross over.
Oh my goodness.
I've been knowing and seeing you guys.
So you're older than dirt.
I'm older than dirt. Huh? But you're pretty dirt.
You guys heard this story before, but we are exactly 9 months apart.
That's right.
So right now we're both 76.
76.
We'll be both 76 when my birthday happens.
Glory. So, and we've been together 55 years.
55.
55 years.
August the
29th I've been giving her sugar and talking to her, and I just don't.
We've been holding hands and hugging and fussing and fighting and making up for 55 years.
That's right. Like Marvin Gaye say, ain't nothing like the real thing. Ain't nothing like the real thing.
Leslie said hers is at 24th. All right.
All right, Leslie. Come on.
Well, you look good for 60. I tell you that. You look good for 60. Sister
you guys.
Chris, we love you. Thank you, sweetie pie.
Thank you for the gifts that you send to us in the mail.
Yes.
Brother Kessler, we thank you for what you've done to help us over the years in our church construction and building.
We just thank all of y'all.
All of y'all who were waiting for us to come online.
Something for us.
All of them. Yeah. And his wife was the one that started us. And God used that. I can see Christ in everything. Yeah. If you want to, you can.
Yeah.
But I choose to see. Now, it ain't easy sometimes.
In the meantime, we're gonna be back on
Meantime, back at the ranch
Tuesday night. And we've been now. This wasn't planned, but we just decided to have Pastor Norman join us on Tuesdays for our life class.
Yes.
And he's been available to do it, and now it's just become a thing.
Oh, shucks, yeah.
We'll miss him if he's not there. So I'm not sure if he's available this Tuesday, but if he is, he's going to be on there with us. We'll be back Tuesday night at 7. And I hope you guys can come in and join us for that. If not, you can always go back to YouTube and see our videos. And he's saying he's giving us a thumbs up. He'll be there with us on Tuesday night. We love the conversations we have with Pastor Norman. They're just tremendous. We have all of these different. We get on our soapboxes and we just talk about everything. But listen, we love you. We'll see you again on Tuesday night. In the meantime, please express your abundance by giving. We want to thank you for your support and all of the love gifts that you sent Pastor and I through Cash App. We understand about how the economy is caused inflation has caused a lot of people maybe not to have extra money to give, and you've had family reunions and vacations and all of that. But if you have the extra money to give,
please help us. We do need your finances to help us, as well as your presence online.
We appreciate when you go into your pocket and you hit that button and you send us something. We thank you for that. And it's really easy to do. We appreciate also your giving to Cornerstone, the church, the entity, the 501c3 nonprofit.
We're still business.
We appreciate you giving to that, because that makes it possible for us to gather in person. We reserve a spot or something like that because we no longer have a building. So keep doing that. Keep sending your tithes and your offerings. I want to encourage you to do that. For those of you who've been doing it already, thank you so much. And we're appreciative of all of it and all of the Cash Apps. That helps us to get through the times when we have a slump. So thank you for sending Cash Apps to Pastor and myself. And that's a whole lot to say.
Okay, if you want to, hit your like button if you feel like you got something out of this. But we thank you for tuning in with us. Whether we see your face online or not, you are still wonderful and eternal.
I wanted to say too, Sydney, I see what you said. She said, or he or she, I can't remember. She said, I moved to LA, and she's tapping in. Oh, good. And I'm glad you can, honey.
Keep on tapping.
Keep tapping in. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Okay,
I'm going to play a little music, and then we're going to go.
See you on the turnaround.
All right. I'm going to play Vincent. How about that? I'm going to play Vincent.